There's nothing like soup to warm you up on a cold day. I'm Divya Gugnani here at the Andaz Hotel on 5th Avenue in New York City. So let's go behind the burner and meet the chef for some savory soup. So I'm here with Chef Roberto Alicea. Roberto, we've got lots of tomatoes. It's a tomato day. What are we making?
Divya, we're going to make today's an amazing tomato soup with mint.
Reminds me of my childhood. I had a lot of tomato soup when I was growing up.
Amazing. Well, this is going to remind you of your childhood again, if not the rest of your life. This is an amazing recipe. So what we'll do is we'll start with some beautiful vine-ripe tomatoes.
So you always like to use vine-ripe?
It's dependent on the season. It's dependent on when you're in the grocery store and you're taking a tomato off the vine and you're smelling that tomato to make sure that that tomato smells like a tomato, right? And not it does not just look like a tomato, but it has to smell like a tomato, right? So you can use it.
Look good. You want to make sure it doesn't have any bruises or anything?
No bruises. Perfect tomato. Smells like a tomato.
So should I cube these up for you? So we've got some great tomatoes. We took them off the vine. Cut them up, put some garlic, shallots, add a little bit of thyme, but we need some more.
More, about 5 sprigs.
So this is all ready now. What do we do?
So all ready. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add some brown sugar, right? Because the tomatoes, as they were sweet today, they had a little bit of acid. So anytime tomatoes have a strong acid profile, what you want to do is you want to add a little sweetener to it. So today I've decided to put a little bit of brown sugar in there, and I'm also going to add some olive oil.
And the brown sugar is really going to enhance the natural sweetness of the tomatoes and really bring that out.
Correct. So I add about maybe a quarter or an 1/8 cup of olive oil. So next step is we're going to add some sherry vinegar, about 1/2 cup's worth. Make sure I don't splash you.
No, it's nice. I love sherry vinegar, and you can really smell it. It smells amazing.
Amazing.
It smells like it's got that kind of like deep cherry, a little bit of the
cherry, blackberry, just sour and sweet all at the same time.
It is.
So as in every kitchen, secret to cooking and cooking well is always adding a little salt and pepper to everything that you do, right? So you're gonna add a little bit of salt.
As you go. And what's gonna happen with the salt is when you put a little bit of salt on the tomatoes, it's gonna make them release a little bit of water. And that's gonna be amazing, and you're gonna get all those great flavors when you roast things together.
Correct.
So I smell the sherry vinegar, I smell the thyme, all those great aromas, kind of mixing this up a little bit so I coat the tomatoes nicely. And I'm gonna put it on the roasting pan.
Correct.
So the roasting is really gonna intensify the flavor of the tomatoes.
Correct. It's gonna intensify the flavor of the tomatoes by about 80%, which is good because tomatoes aren't in season all year round, but however, with this method, you can have the most amazing tomato soup in middle of winter. All right, so now we're gonna place the tomatoes in the oven at 375 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes till you achieve the right colorization.
Roasted tomatoes, they were in there for 375 degrees for 25 minutes. Tomatoes smell incredible. Really fantastic.
Part of the trick to tomato soup is actually roasting the garlic along with the tomatoes. Once you roast the garlic, trick is that it takes the heat out of the garlic. If you don't roast your garlic, your tomato soup is going to come out spicy and hot. See all these beautiful flavors? Most people would just get rid of that. What we're going to do today is we're going to slide this right onto the cutting board like so.
And you want all those brown bits.
This is
that caramelization from the shallots, you want to keep all of it.
And all those amazing juices as well. So now that we've chopped the roasted tomatoes, we are going to add them to the pot like so.
And I'm standing back because I don't want to get that all over my white shirt. So it's time to add more ingredients.
Yes, it is. So we're going to start with a little bit of tomato sauce, about 2 cups worth.
Okay, I'll put that in.
I'm going to add about another 4 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay, I don't measure. I can tell what 4 tablespoons is like. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about right.
What we're going to do now is we're going to give this a quick stir with the wooden spoon there. We'll take the flavor profile while it's room temperature now, and then we will balance the flavors with a tad bit more salt, pepper, and vinegar where need be.
You could use a little bit more vinegar.
Definitely.
A little bit more salt and pepper too.
Correct. You are a chef.
It's really good to salt as you go. I think if you add all the salt up front, you can't really undo it later on. And if you undersalt it and try and do too much at the end, it's a little tricky to get it all incorporated.
At this point is we're going to add some mint to this. And then we're going to bring it over to the stove or cook it for about 20 minutes.
Mint?
Just break some mint, just roughly break it in.
I love
Add it
mint.
to the tomato soup.
So we're going to give this a nice little simmer on the stove for a little bit. So the soup's been simmering for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's time to kind of give it a nice blend.
It can be as chunky or as loose as you want.
So it looks like it's the perfect consistency now.
It is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to serve some tomato soup. So last but not least, we're going to add some fresh mint to the tomato soup.
Here is your spoon. I'm going to devour mine. It's nice and hot. Get a big piece of that tomato in there.
This is a winner. This is a soup that I can have all year round.
Chef Roberto, you've outdone yourself. This is really, really delicious. It's finger licking good. It's going to be my new weekend soup. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.